Hello, hello, and welcome back to the channel. As most of you know, I'm Topher, and for those of you who don't know and just randomly decided to click on my video, welcome to the channel. I'm Topher. Thank you for stopping by. So we're here to do a reaction, and we're diving back into the end of the world with you. So I didn't have plans of diving into this recording session. It was part of the poll that I posted a couple weeks ago for my patrons to vote on, and it did not win, which is okay, but I was in the middle of a recording session and I had like 35-ish minutes left in the allotted time I gave myself before I had to just shut things down, go to bed, and get ready for work in the morning. And I was like, well, I want to make use of this time, so let me record something. And I was like, well, I don't have time to do one of my longer series. And I'm like, well, what's something I want to dive into? And there were quite a few. And I was going back and forth between this and my dining room table. And I just ended up on this one, mainly because this one was available to me on a platform that I already have access to, and I didn't have to go try and hunt down a video for it like I do with dining room table. So we're gonna dive into the second episode and just see where the things take us here. Yeah.
俺のこと好きなやつ分かっちゃうんだよね。
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people because you were completely all cheekbones and lips. Oh, Lord? Lord? What are these sounds, Lord? Oh, child. Oh, panting and breathing. I think he can figure it out. From the sound of it, I think he's figuring it out just fine. Lord? Child? Yeah, holy shit. That's what I'm saying, girl. Soaked, Lord Jesus. Lord, my virginal ears shouldn't be hearing these things. Goodness me. I got questions too. Yes, I gathered as much. People generally aren't soaked with, and if they're not enjoying something, Lord. Got that bucket and a mop. Oh, can I put it in? Bitch? Yeah, at least he's asking. Yeah. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay, well, I don't know if any of this can be in the YouTube cut of this episode. We might have to just jump to. Yeah, I got it, Lord. Cigarette after Jesus. Okay, I'm sorry. What crazy plot line did we just crawl in? Not that it should really come that far out of left field, because we are in this interesting premise where the world is literally ending. We are literally at the end of the world, the final days of the earth. So it should not be surprising that there may be some people who have already taken it upon themselves to end it before the meteor can get them, or who may have met their untimely demise at the hands of others as a result of crazy actions that have happened. But still, you gotta admit, if your first time watching this episode, you guys probably clutched your pearls and jumped back a little bit like, I'm sorry? As well. I know I can't be the only person who's like, help you dispose of a corpse. Like, of all of the favors that, just based off the interactions we've seen from them, of all of the favors that I thought Ritsu was going to ask, disposing of a corpse was not high on the list. It was not even a glimmer of a thought in my mind to be near this list, okay? You could have told me he was gonna. It's the second he took off the glasses, I'm like, okay, he looks like he's got some sort of nefarious. And before he took off the glasses, I thought he was just gonna be like, hey, I'll give you the drug if you do me a favor. And he's like, what's the favor? It's like, spend time with me. Spend the last couple of days with me. Like, I thought it was going to be something like that. Because, again, he had already proposed the idea of spending the last couple of days together. And Matsui, obviously, still hurt, carrying around this burden, this grudge, was like, nah. So I thought it was going to be something like that. But then he took off the glasses and he had this look in his eyes. So I'm like, okay, this feels like a darker, more mysterious, potential, devious kind of person coming out right to play right now. So I thought it was going to be like, have sex with me one more time. Because all we saw this episode was them just banging left, right, up, down, center, all over every free surface they could find. So I thought he was going to try and take a stroll down memory lane again. I was like, Lord, don't do that. That's creepy. That's gross. But yes, there were so many options of ways that I thought that conversation would go. But him popping up talking about help me dispose of a corpse was not one of them. So, Lord. But yes, there was a lot of sexy time shenanigans, and they even said themselves in this story, like, hey, we were young. I was like, yes, okay, I get it. They were young. The relationship was new. That early stages of a relationship when you were just insatiable, where you want nothing more than to just constantly be with this person. And when you start crossing into the sexy time shenanigans, you just want nothing more than to just be with that person continuously over and over and over again. You just can't get enough. They are just the most magically delicious person in the world, and it's just insatiable. The lust is insatiable. I get it. So yes, it was very much that. They were just going at it constantly, everywhere they could. But after the first time, you could see Matsui was starting to feel feelings. I mean, he was already feeling feelings. They already established that he was starting to develop a crush on Ritsu prior to the sexy time shenanigans. So once the sexy time shenanigans took place, that kind of solidified those feelings. And then we saw some more sexy time shenanigans, spliced in with some scenes of them just hanging out, having lunch, studying, and like showing the general development of a relationship that you would see in any sort of movie or series, where it's like, okay, we're just kind of giving you this montage of moments to showcase that time has passed and that they are cute and adorable and falling in love. So we got a lot of those moments, and then some more moments of them having the sexy time, and they keep throwing around that I love you, oh, you're so special to me. And I'm like, please don't just say this. Please don't just say this. And there's part of me that wanted to believe that what Ritsu was saying was coming from an honest place. And, there's still part of me that wants to believe that when he was saying those things, it was coming from an honest place. But there was a severe lack of communication and a severe abundance of assumptions on both ends that led to the breakdown of this relationship. Because Ritsu was like, yes, I love this man. I enjoy the time I spend with him. But also, I would like to sleep with that lady and maybe that man over there and that person. Like, I would like to continue to peruse the buffet. This dish I have here is delicious, but it's still an open buffet right now. And I'm not quite full yet. I would like to peruse the buffet a little bit more. Where Matsumi is a one meal man. He's like, I didn't sign up for the buffet. I just went and got this single meal from the restaurant, and that's all I needed. I'm good. I'm satiated with this one meal. And neither lifestyle is wrong. they are both completely valid. And I don't care if you want to live in open relationship. I don't care if you want to have a polyamorous relationship. I don't care if you want to have a monogamous relationship. I don't care. It doesn't matter. As long as all of the parties involved are on the same page and in an agreement about the stipulations of the relationship. That is where a lot of the feelings of betrayal and whatnot can come from, when we are not all on the same page as to the dynamics of our relationship. So Ritsu's out here thinking, yep, I'm just living my bachelor life. Yeah, I love this guy, but also I want to sling some dick over here, there, and everywhere. And Matsumi's over here thinking, I found my Prince Charming, and I'm going to have my house with my white picket fence and the 2.5 children and the 2-car garage and the 6-figure income. And like, he is out here planning the rest of his life with this man, and they just weren't on the same wavelength. So they were both assuming that the other person was aware of the plans they had for them, and they weren't. And then that's where issues came into the picture. So it's not necessarily that I think Ritsu is wrong for stepping out. I feel like it was bad communication, and perhaps we should have verified the nature of our relationship before stepping out. And not saying that I feel like Matsumi is wrong for thinking that he can change Ritsu and this, that, the other. But again, we needed to verify with one another, this is how our relationship is going to be if we're going to proceed with this. So Ritsu gave him that ultimatum, like, if you can't handle this, then we should just break up, which is like, that's fine. But this should have happened before I was already this invested, and before I thought we were in a monogamous relationship, and now I'm finding this out. Like, this is a conversation that should have happened beforehand, and we could have avoided all of this. So yes, things ended not great for them. And at that point, like I said, I'm not going to necessarily place fault on one or the other. It was just a miscommunication that led to an unfortunate circumstance. But then we went a little bit further, and we had Matsumi out here stalking Ritsu's ass, which I'm like, baby boy, why? Please, no, let's not go down this rabbit hole. Please, let's not go here. Just, I know it. You loved him. He put it down real good, and it made it. I've said it a number of times on this channel. Good dick will fuck up your credit, get you handcuffed to a banister, and just it can make you do stupid things. Okay, so I understand Natsumi is feeling some type of way, but please don't stalk this boy. Please don't stalk this. Please don't go to jail for stalking this boy. So then finally Ritsu had enough. He's like, hey, stop this. Stop this. If you don't stop this, I'm going to out you to everybody, which I don't like. I don't like. Y'all, if you've been with the channel long enough, y'all already know my stance on outing people. Like, I feel like it is one of those almost unforgivable things that you could do to a person. It is absolutely disgusting to take away somebody's choice to come out, because I've given this speech a number of times over. People come out when they are ready to, when they feel comfortable and ready to come out. Some people come out very early in life. Some people come out late in life. Some people never come out at all. And that is unfortunate, but that is their choice. And one thing I don't like seeing is people having that choice taken away from them, because there's so many reasons why they don't feel comfortable. They could feel uncomfortable coming out. It could be an issue of safety. Maybe they are not living in a place where they feel safe and secure, and if they come out, they might be living in fear for their lives. They might be living with family members who are not accepting and might try to send them to some sort of camp to get them fixed, or this, that, the other, pray the gay away or whatever. Or they might be living with some family members who will just try to abuse the gay out of them themselves. Or they might be living with people who will disown them. Or, you know, it could be something along those lines, or it could be something completely different. They could have other fears that are totally rational, but the fact of the matter is that they've not come out for a reason. And I don't think it's fair to take that choice away from somebody, to force them out of the closet and say, hey, you no longer get to feel, you no longer get to have a little safe place. Even though I don't want people to have to live their life in closet. I understand. Having been closeted in my youth and whatnot, I understand. So, like, I don't like the idea of people having that sense of security and that sense of safety snatched away from them. Like, I don't like it. It's one of those sort of unforgivable things for me. So the fact that he would dare threaten that automatically just put a bad taste in my mouth when it came to this character. I'm like, no. Granted, yes, they were younger. A whole decade has passed since then, so he may have changed. Although from some of the interactions I was seeing, it didn't seem that he changed all that much. But who knows? He may have changed since then. Back then he was younger. I can try to give him the benefit of the doubt, but still, it just left a bad taste in my mouth that as a member of this community, even though he is fine, he's like, I'm bisexual and I have no plans of hiding that. I'll live my life out proud, blah, blah, blah. That's great for you. But as someone who is a member of this community, I feel like there should be some sort of innate understanding as to why someone would not be ready to come out and why it is so incredibly harmful and despicable to even think to out somebody else who is a part of your community. Even if you've been so secure in your sexuality since the day you were born, you walked out the womb, I'm bisexual, and you've announced it to the world, this, that, the other, and you've had no repercussions, you've had no people looking down on you or judging you, whatever, you've just lived this perfect fantasy life, you know, the way it should be. And, you know, even if that were the case, still, you know the struggles that the LGBTQ plus community has gone through, that they are constantly going through. You know how they're constantly being scrutinized. You know how we are constantly being judged. You know how we're constantly having laws enacted to strip away our rights at every turn, in countries all over around the world. Some places still think of it as a mental illness, this, that, the other. So it's like, you know how hard it can be out there in the world. So just because you are living comfortably doesn't make it okay for you to try and force somebody else out. Like it, I just feel like there should be this just general awareness as a member of this community that, you know, some people are going to struggle with their identity. You may be comfortable with yours, but not everybody is comfortable with theirs yet, and you can't force them out. Forcing them out is not going to make them comfortable. So just that idea, it always makes me unhappy to see. So that was an unhappy character moment that I saw for Ritsu there, where I'm like, Also, the fact that he was taking photos of them having sex without Matsumi's consent. Also, another red flag in my mind, where I'm like, okay, Ritsu, you are just fucking up all over the place this episode. I am just not a fan of you at all right now. Because y'all know I'm a big proponent of consent. I love me my consent. And if you're going to take sexy time pictures, that's fine, as long as everyone is on the same page. But don't you start placing secret cameras and this, that, the other. Like, no. So then the fact that he took these secret photos and then threatened to out him with these secret photos, it felt like such a disgusting decision. I understand where he was frustrated, and he's like, look, I need you to stop stalking me, and I am at my wit's end, and I need to do something to keep you from doing this. But the fact that he went into this relationship with this mentality that, hey, we're starting to have sex, so I'm gonna take these pictures as a failsafe just in case you decide to go crazy, which tells me, hey, this has probably happened to him before. And B, that means he should probably reevaluate some of his choices and how he's choosing partners to interact with. But like the fact that he went into this situation premeditated, the fact that there may be some dissolvement of this relationship and that he would need something to blackmail this man with, I don't like that. I don't like it at all. Ritsu, you were losing all kinds of points. Episode 1, I was all here for you. I'm like, Lord, he is talking the talk. He has got the cheekbones and the lips, and I was all about Ritsu. But this episode, I'm like, you were just falling. So I understand why Matsumi does not want to see your face again. I would also not want to see your face again. So you keep trying to approach me like nothing happened. I'm like, no, sir. No. And you know, he keeps approaching and Matsumi keeps shooting him down. He's like, oh, you're so cold. You're so cold. Oh, I can't believe you. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, did you forget? Like, I know it's been a decade and you've lived whatever life you've lived, but have you forgotten that much? Have you forgotten our last interaction, sir? Where you threatened to out me after you broke my heart? Like, sir, there's a lack of accountability. Like, that was probably my biggest issue with present day Ritsu up on that rooftop. Like, every time Matsumi would shoot him down, like, it didn't seem like he was really taking any sort of accountability for his actions. Like, again, I could forgive and forget the fact that he was out here sleeping with everybody because, again, we did not establish the dynamics of our relationship, so we just weren't clear. Fine. But the fact that we violated trust by taking these secret photos and then threatening to out him, I'm like, no, we consciously did these things. We consciously inflicted this pain upon this person. So I need us to take some accountability for these actions specifically and apologize, try to make some sort of amends here before you just come up in my life talking about, oh yeah, we're friends, blah, blah, blah. Like, don't pretend like this didn't happen. Don't pretend like this didn't exist, because this still exists. This has haunted me for the last decade, okay? My life has been a shit show for the last decade, and it all kind of stemmed from this particular moment. I mean, it didn't all stem from that, but, you know, in his head narrative, he's telling himself. So I'm like, I need Ritsu to take some accountability for his actions and his well-being. Lord, this ended up, I went on a tirade. I'm sorry. I apologize. This was supposed to be a quick little short reaction because I had a couple minutes, like a little 35 minutes left, and look at us, we're at a 45-minute reaction right now. I went over time, so I'm gonna stop babbling for right now. But yeah, Ritsu lost some major points for me this episode. Maybe he'll make them up by the time the series is over. Maybe he won't. I don't know. But apparently it's a dead body we got to deal with next episode. So we'll see where that takes us. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction and my just general rambling. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on notifications to be notified when all of my shenanigans get posted. If there's anything else you'd like me to react to, be sure to leave it down in the comments. I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. If you'd like to support the channel in other ways, you're more than welcome to join us over on Patreon. You don't have to, but you're more than welcome to if you want to. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Love ya. Mwah.